Hey guys, it's Josh here, and I'm the founder of Mind Launch, a company where we help people overcome their anxiety and turn it into alignment in their life. So, this really means learning how to manage your stress, your anxiety, your insecurities, your overthinking, and really your mind so that you can create more self confidence, really a lot more inner peace, and a stronger sense of purpose in your life. Now, in this video today, I'm going to tell you how I changed my life by changing my mind. And I'm going to walk you through our mind launch method, which is a unique 3-step method that's really clear, really logical, and no bullshit. It's our no bullshit approach for changing your mind and changing your life. Now, I know if you are struggling with anxiety, then you have probably tried everything. You've probably tried a million different things to overcome your anxiety, maybe the therapist, the psychologists, the medication. You might have even tried different alternative therapies, and it just sucks because nothing seems to work. And I totally understand how frustrating that is, which is why I really like to have this no bullshit approach, which is just a clear, logical explanation of how to actually overcome your anxiety. Because there's so much stuff online, so much information that it can just get confusing. So I want to take all of the second guessing out of this process for you and just lay it out as simple as 1, 2, 3. And that's what I'm going to do in this video. Now, if you don't already know me, I'm going to give you a brief introduction. My name's Josh Holiday, and when I was 17 years old, I really struggled with anxiety. I had this existential crisis where my mental health was really bad, and I, at that time, was considering taking medication to get better. But I really didn't want to take medication. I thought there must be some way that I can overcome these issues by myself. I felt like I had more potential, and I felt like I should be able to harness the power of my mind. I knew that humans were supposed to be this really intelligent species, and I thought, well, I'm a human, and if I'm part of this intelligent species, then why am I struggling so much with my mindset? And so I set out to overcome my anxiety naturally. And this led me on a journey of self development where I learned about meditation, I learned about spirituality, I learned about energy and emotions as well. I learned about the nervous system, right? I learned about our subconscious mind and our beliefs. And in this video, I'm going to just walk you through everything that I've learned over the last 15 years that has helped me change my mind and change my life. It's also helped me to help hundreds of other people do exactly the same, to change their mind and change their life. And so this is really a proven and tested process that I've worked with hundreds of people to transform their anxiety into alignment in their life. And so I'm going to walk it through with you today. So that's kind of who I am, who I help, right? I help all sorts of people. If you have like health anxiety, social anxiety, generalized anxiety, emotional reactivity, frustration, impatience, even this ADHD style mentality, right? Those are people that I help. I've helped people in business. I've helped people in their careers. I've helped family, people with families who want to have a better family life, leaders, entrepreneurs, just general people as well. In your everyday working class kind of person. So this stuff works for everyone across the board. One of the things I hear a lot is that people with anxiety often think that they have like a special case of anxiety, and it's like something about their situation is extra special. And let me tell you right now that that kind of mentality is not going to help you, because you start to get this identity which is like, I'm special and I have a special problem, and because I have a special problem, I can't fix my special problem, right? That doesn't get you anywhere. The process that I'm going to walk you through today is it really works for everyone across the board. Doesn't matter what kind of anxiety that you have, right? And I'm going to explain how this works shortly, right? But you probably don't expect me to say this, but your mind is actually the easiest, fastest, the simplest way to change your experience in life, okay? Lots of times people will go and just look for the solution outside. They look for all the outside solutions to their problems, but really anxiety is an internal problem and it needs an internal solution. Your mind is in an inner kind of working, and it needs to be worked from within, right? You can't try and go outside to fix a problem in your mind because it's in your mind, right? And so a big part of my philosophy is really helping you to reconnect with yourself, right? So that's who I am. That's who I help. And I really want to just kind of tell you, the truth about this because, again, I've helped hundreds of people with this. And the truth is, everyone will tries everything and it doesn't work, right? The medication, the therapist, the psychologist, the talking, even the special remedies, the kinesiology, the hypnotherapy. Like people try everything, and often it just doesn't work, right? And so I want to just give you the truth, and the truth is that I have found a way that actually works. I've used it myself, and I've replicated it with hundreds of others. And it's really a process around getting in touch with your mind and your body, learning to regulate your nervous system, right? Learning to change your beliefs and really to master your emotional state as well. I'm going to walk you through this method shortly, but I just want to explain how I've helped Tom, Shannon, Ryan use this method to overcome their issues as well. So let me just walk you through this really quickly. Tom was a client of mine running a big electrical business. He had a partner, he had kids, he's got his daughter, and then his partner had a couple of kids of hers. When he started working with me, they were recently separated, right? And Tom was going through a hard time. He was abusing substances. He was getting very impatient and frustrated with his daughter, and that impacted his life, his relationships, and even his work. Through our work together, he found a lot more calmness within his mind. He regained a sense of clarity and inner peace, so he was more patient. He ended up actually getting back with his partner, right? Building a new, healthy relationship. They actually got married, they got pregnant, and they had a kid. I keep in touch with Tom, and now they are absolutely, just in a whole different place. He changed his life by changing his mind. Shannon is also a business owner. She does NDIS support work, so not as big of a business, but still a good business. And she's also just a normal person. She's a woman. She has a husband and a couple of kids. And she had debilitating anxiety, which was making her get to every Sunday evening. I remember her telling me this. Every Sunday evening, she would feel just total dread for the week ahead. She didn't want to do it. She felt like it was Groundhog Day. She was stuck. She didn't want to do the business. It was taking her away from her family, and it was leaving her with constant anxiety, right? Because she had no balance and she had no boundaries. She was just doing everything for everyone, and it left her feeling completely burnt out and exhausted. And so through our work together, again, she learned how to calm her mind, to calm her body, right, to regulate herself. And in doing that, she started to set better boundaries. She started to communicate more clearly. She started to actually let go of some clients that, weren't the best for her to be working with. And she took on some new clients. And she changed her life, right, by changing her mind. And now she's really got a lot more work-life balance. She's a lot more present with her family, a lot more present with her kids, and the business is actually enjoyable again. Now, Ryan is a career professional who was struggling with some anxiety as well, which was affecting his day-to-day life, right? So he was struggling to be confident enough to say and do what he wanted to say and do. And so this really made him feel like he was kind of held back in life. And so what we did together is we worked on, again, learning to calm down the nervous system, calm down the mind, change his beliefs, change his mind, so that he could become more confident, right? So that he could start actually saying and doing what he wanted to say and do. And now Ryan says that if he if he ever has any anxiety come up, he has the tools to manage it. And I want you just to imagine this for a second, right? Because this is what happens when you change your mind. You can actually experience the life that you want to experience, right? You don't have to wake up every morning totally exhausted, totally burnt out, totally stressed out. If you're struggling with anxiety, then that's probably what's happening now. You're just waking up totally stressed, totally exhausted, totally burnt out, right? You don't have to wake up like that. You can wake up energized. You can wake up excited for the day. You can wake up and really be present with your family, in your work, right? With the things that matter in life. That's possible. Also, you don't have to just drift along with life and just take whatever life gives you. you can actually consciously create the life that you want, right? You can develop and build your confidence so that you can actually go after the life that you want and actually create a life that's meaningful for you, right? I want you just to imagine that. Imagine what that would look like if you could actually be confident enough and calm enough to just go after whatever you wanted to go after in life. I wonder how that would change things for you. Right? I want you to know it's possible, right? You don't have to be a victim to your life. You can be a creator of your life. And now I'm going to walk you through the method, right? This is the mind launch method. And the truth is, I used to be so scared of my mind. I really was scared, right? I was fearing my own self. And at that time, I really didn't want to kind of live like that. I thought I can't live like this. If I keep saying like this, I don't know if I'm going to want to live the rest of my life, right? And so again, I set out on this path to figure out how to change my mind and change my life. And this led me to discover the mind launch method. And the truth is, this is the simplest, most no bullshit, clear, logical path you can actually implement as easy as 1, 2, 3 to create change in your life. And it's this 3-part process, right? Starts with regulating your nervous system. I'm going to talk to you about that. Changing your beliefs, right? Changing your mind. And also mastering your emotions and mastering your energy. When you do these 3 things, what happens is you find mind, body, spirit alignment. You find your alignment in your life and you become a conscious creator. You become a conscious creator. You consciously create your reality. So let me just walk you through this for a second. Regulating your nervous system. What you need to understand with your anxiety is it's a mind-body thing, right? So it's a mind-body issue. It's a mind-body problem. When you start thinking anxious thoughts, when you can't control your thoughts, you have all these negative thoughts, all these anxious thoughts, all these fearful thoughts. The brain sends signals, electrochemical signals, to the body, right? Which create chemicals and hormones in the body, which create the experience of anxiety. The adrenaline, the cortisol in the body goes up, right? And then you feel anxious. And then you're feeling anxious, so your body sends the feeling signal back to the brain, says, I'm feeling anxious, and the mind goes, I'm anxious. And then boom, you're in the cycle, right? Mind, body. Now there's a feedback loop. It's a reinforcing loop of anxiety because this mind is sending signals and thoughts to the body, which create chemicals and hormones in the body. And then the mind kind of picks up on that and it's just a loop. Okay. So what you've got to do is you've got to learn how to control your mind, right? And when you learn how to control your mind and clear your mind, it actually helps you to regulate your nervous system because you're not sending so many negative signals to the body. Right? Now, another part of regulating the nervous system is about reducing the stress and anxiety that's already in the body. And you can do this through different habits, different practices, different routines. You won't do it by taking medication, right? Or you might, but that's a synthetic. It's not going to be sustainable. It won't teach you what you need to know, right? Same thing with like kinesiology or like acupuncture or all these other different random things that people try. It's like an external, factor. And if it's external, you never actually learn how to do that yourself. I'm telling you, you can do that internally. You can learn how to do that internally, right? And that's what I teach people how to do, right? And we use different practices like meditation, breath work, right? Different kind of dopamine frameworks for reducing the dopamine so that you can actually maintain calmness in your mind and body, right? All sorts of different habits. Now, one of the problems with meditation, I'll just touch on this because this is something that people often say is, I've tried meditation, it doesn't work, right? So I'm a meditation teacher, and it's one of the things that has helped me the most in my life. And I got to tell you, it works. But you may have just not learnt properly yet. People try Calm, they try Headspace, they try all these different things, and they say it doesn't work. It does work. You just haven't learned how to do it properly yet. And if you do learn how to do it properly, it will be the number one thing that you will be so glad that you learned how to do. It will be something that you take with you for the rest of your life. You'll be like, oh my God, I'm so glad that I learned how to meditate. It helped me deal with everything, all of my problems. When you know how to do it properly, people say all the time, oh, Josh, I just can't do it properly. I just don't get it. I just can't stop my thoughts. You just haven't learned properly. That's why it's good to have a teacher, right? regulate your nervous system. That's the first thing you got to do. And then secondly, change your beliefs. Change your beliefs. Change your mind, right? Your thoughts and your beliefs. Again, if you keep sending these negative thoughts from your brain to your body, then it's really, you're going to just stay stuck in a loop. So, and you'll stay stuck just experiencing the same recurring patterns over and over again. Maybe you've already got that. You always get frustrated. You always get impatient. You always get kind of anxious. It's because you've got these beliefs that support that version of yourself. So you've got to change your beliefs as well. And this is like often deep subconscious or unconscious beliefs, limiting beliefs that you don't even know that you have, right? Or maybe you do know that you have them, right? Now, when you regulate your nervous system and change your beliefs, you get your mind and your body into balance, right? And that helps you a lot, right? To feel calm, to feel at peace. Now, the other thing that you got to work on is your emotions and your energy, because what will happen in life is different things will happen and you'll get triggered, right? And maybe you've got some emotional trauma from the past, or you've got some triggers that come up again and again and again and again, and you don't know why. You got to learn how to deal with your emotions. Now, dealing with your emotions does not mean, oh, I feel my emotions, because really, if you allow your emotions to just take you over, that's not emotional intelligence. That means you're just a victim to your emotions. What you really want to do is learn how to feel your emotions, but not be overtaken by them. There's a big difference. It's actually very similar to learning how to observe and watch your thoughts without being attached to them. So one of the things that I'll teach people that I work with is that you don't have to believe all of your thoughts. You don't have to believe all of your thoughts and all of your beliefs. You can just watch them and then let them go. And you learn how to do that, it's a game changer. And it's exactly the same process for your emotions. You don't have to believe or get involved with all of your emotions. You can just feel them and let them go. I'm not telling you to suppress your emotions. I'm telling you to feel them, but then let them go. Don't act from a place of emotion. Okay? Just learn how to feel it and then let it go. Now, when you get these three things in line, what happens is you create mind, body, and spirit alignment. Okay? And your emotions are really kind of similar to energy, right? It's just an energy that runs through your body. It's really quite a spiritual thing, right? So that's another thing, right? Get your mind in check, get your body in check, get your spirit in check. You get mind, body, spirit alignment. This is when you're just really dialed in, right? Your mindset's dialed in, you're locked in, you're confident, you know what you want, you know how to get it, and you're going after it, right? And you're being committed. And when that happens, the final thing that happens is you become a conscious creator. This is our ideal. We have an ideal at Mind Launch, and the ideal is the conscious creator, right? The person who is consciously creating their reality. That's what we're aiming for, right? And that's what I would love for you to become. I feel like I'm a conscious creator. The people I work with become conscious creators. I'd love for you to become a conscious creator. That means you are consciously, intentionally, on purpose, creating the life that you want for yourself. Okay? Very important. Cool. So if this is looking good for you, then what I want you to do is book a call with me below. If you've been struggling with anxiety for months or years and you just really want a no bullshit clear path to overcome it, then book a call with me below. And on that call, we'll discuss your anxiety, we'll discuss your issues, maybe the emotional issues that you've got going on, the personal issues that you've going on, the relational issues that you've got going on, and we'll create a personalized plan for you. Now, I know I said before that not everyone is special, but everyone is unique. Right? I know that you probably have your unique issues, so we create a personalized plan for you. And then if it feels like a good fit for both of us, we're both resonating with each other and we're vibing, we're feeling like it's a good fit to work together, right? Because that's very important when it comes to this stuff, right? You probably, when you go to the doctor or even a psychologist or a therapist, right? You just go there because that's just a service and they're just providing it. But sometimes you have a good connection with your doctor or your therapist. Sometimes you don't, right? It's always better when you have a good connection, right? So on this call, we're going to find out if we do have a good connection. And if we do, we can do some work together, right? If we don't, and you feel like there's someone else that you have a better connection with, then you can go and work with them. And I actually encourage you to do that. It's important that you find someone who feels good for you, right? But if this is looking good for you so far, then book a call with me below and we can talk about the Anxiety to Alignment program, right? And there's a bunch of different options available to join, right? The Anxiety to Alignment program is a course, right? But you can also get group coaching access, right? So I do multiple group coaching calls a week. There's a course there, and there's also option for one-on-one coaching. So if you want a more personal touch, then we can also, set up the one-on-one coaching as well. But we have to jump on this call first, just to get to know each other a little bit better, to show you how I can help you, to show you how I can create a personalized plan just for you, and then we can talk about those options. And if you want to join, you're welcome to join. But first, just book in that call below, and I will talk to you soon.